You're watching NFL Daily Brief, top football headlines made simple. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Here are the brief highlights of today's top stories. Futures of Giants Brian Daboll, Schoen hinge on Jaxson Dart's instant success. Parsons on sacking Doc, it's going to be painful. Sources: Giants to bench QB Wilson, start Dart. Texans release S Gardner-Johnson after 3 games. Jets, scuffling on D, trade for Titans CB Brownlee. Sources: Bucs star W.R. Evans to miss 3 to 4 weeks. Titans Callahan cedes playcalling after 0-3 start. Sherman gets deferred prosecution in DUI case. Source: McLaurin seeks more opinions on injury. Ranking Week 3's most infuriating losses. Tracking every NFL trade before the deadline. Brownlee to Jets, Bigsby to Eagles. Updated NFL power rankings. Biggest risers and fallers after 3 weeks of 2025 season. Micah Parsons isn't the first player Jerry Jones talked contracts with, he won't be last. Return of the Mac? 5 things we've learned about QB Mac Jones after latest starting stint. NFL playoff picture projections. Updated chances to make the postseason, win divisions. NFL draft risers, questions and notes. How could John Mateer's injury impact his stock? Lions use dominant rushing attack, relentless pass rush to grab big road win. Why are the Broncos off to a 1-2 start? 3 trends to explain their early struggles. Commanders remain an offensive juggernaut, even without Jaden Daniels. 4 TDs, free hot dogs. Caleb Williams's career game secures food from Chicago stand. Now, let's dive deeper into the details. Jaxson Dart is set to start as quarterback for the New York Giants against the Los Angeles Chargers this Sunday.
This decision comes after weeks of speculation and follows a less than ideal start to the season for the Giants.
The Giants are currently 0-3, one of 6 winless teams in the league.
Head coach Brian Daboll and general manager Schoen are under considerable pressure due to their 9-28 record since 2023.
The team is looking for a spark, and they hope Dart can provide it.
Dart was the 25th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, selected from Ole Miss.
The initial plan was for veteran Russell Wilson to serve as a bridge quarterback while Dart developed.
However, the Giants felt they could no longer justify keeping Wilson as the starter given their current record.
This move is seen as a potential last resort for Daboll and Schoen to turn the season around.
The pressure is now on Dart to perform well and demonstrate he can lead the team to victory.
This situation differs from previous quarterback changes for the Giants, like when Eli Manning or Daniel Jones took over.
The futures of Daboll and Schoen are now significantly tied to Dart's success as a starter.
Micah Parsons discussed his upcoming game against his former team, the Dallas Cowboys.
He acknowledged that sacking Dak Prescott, his friend and former teammate, would be bittersweet.
Parsons and the Green Bay Packers will face Prescott and the Cowboys on Sunday night.
Parsons told the Associated Press that sacking Prescott will be painful, but he is also excited for the matchup.
He views the game as just another game, despite it being his first time back at AT&T Stadium as a visitor.
Parsons said he accepted the trade weeks ago and is focused on playing disruptive football.
The Cowboys traded Parsons to the Packers 1 week before the season opener, ending a contract dispute.
The Packers made Parsons the highest-paid non-quarterback in National Football League history with a 4-year, $188 million contract.
The Cowboys have struggled without Parsons, especially on defense, allowing many yards and points.
Parsons made an immediate impact on the Packers' defense despite missing training camp.
He helped the Packers to 2 wins before a loss to the Cleveland Browns in Week 3.
Parsons expressed gratitude for the support of his new teammates and staff in Green Bay.
The New York Giants are benching quarterback Russell Wilson and starting rookie Jaxson Dart in Week 4 against the Los Angeles Chargers.
This news comes from ESPN's Adam Schefter and marks a significant change for the 0-3 Giants.
Dart, the 25th overall pick from Ole Miss, has served as Wilson's backup for the first 3 games.
The Giants also have veteran Jameis Winston on their roster, but are opting to go with the rookie.
Wilson has struggled significantly this season, ranking 30th out of 32 qualified quarterbacks in total QBR.
He has also been hit 40 times this season, tied for the most in the National Football League.
Head coach Brian Daboll hinted at a possible quarterback change after the Giants' loss to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wilson threw for only 160 yards and 2 interceptions in that game, drawing boos from the home crowd.
The move to Dart is expected to energize the fanbase, who cheered when Dart briefly entered the Chiefs game.
Dart has impressed since joining the Giants, quickly moving up the depth chart from third string to backup.
He will face a tough test against the Chargers defense, which is allowing under 300 yards per game.
Dart's mobility and ability to run the zone read will offer a different dynamic to the Giants' offense.
The Houston Texans surprisingly released safety S Gardner-Johnson after only 3 games.
Gardner-Johnson started all 3 games but recorded only 15 tackles with no interceptions or pass breakups.
The Texans traded their 2022 first-round pick, left guard Kenyon Green, to the Philadelphia Eagles for Gardner-Johnson in March.
They had hoped he would replicate his 6-interception performance from 2024 with the Eagles.
However, Gardner-Johnson struggled to adapt to Coach DeMeco Ryans' defensive scheme.
This contributed to several big plays against the Texans secondary, who are currently 0-3.
Coach Ryans admitted that communication within the secondary has not been great.
According to team sources, Gardner-Johnson allowed at least 3 big plays that directly led to touchdowns.
He reportedly struggled with match coverage, failing to guard the correct player consistently.
These struggles were evident even during pre-game walkthroughs.
Furthermore, sources indicate Gardner-Johnson refused to take responsibility for his errors.
He reportedly blamed teammates instead of owning up to his mistakes.
The New York Jets addressed their struggling secondary by trading for cornerback Jarvis Brownlee Jr. from the Tennessee Titans on Tuesday.
In exchange for Brownlee and a 2026 7th-round draft pick, the Jets sent a 2026 6th-round pick to the Titans.
Brownlee, age 24, could compete with Brandon Stevens for a starting position once he recovers from an ankle injury.
At the very least, Brownlee provides the Jets with a backup who has starting experience.
Stevens, an expensive offseason acquisition, has struggled in the first 3 games of the season.
The Jets' current backup cornerbacks, Azariah Thomas and Quantez Stiggers, are relatively inexperienced.
Brownlee will reunite with Jets passing game coordinator Chris Harris, who held the same position with the Titans last season.
The Jets' defense currently ranks 29th in scoring defense and recently failed to maintain a lead in the final minutes of a game.
Brownlee, a 2024 5th-round draft pick, started 17 games for Tennessee last season.
He started the first 2 games this year before suffering an ankle injury during practice.
In 19 games, Brownlee has recorded 92 tackles, 10 passes defended, and 1 interception.
While known for aggressive coverage, Brownlee has also been penalized frequently for his style of play.
Mike Evans, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' star wide receiver, is expected to be out for 3 to 4 weeks.
Sources told ESPN that he suffered a left hamstring strain during their victory against the New York Jets.
An MRI revealed the strain to be mild to moderate, adding to the Buccaneers' injury woes.
Evans has a history of hamstring issues, missing games in both the 2019 and 2022 seasons.
The Buccaneers are already playing without Chris Godwin, who is recovering from ankle surgery.
Jalen McMillan is also out with a neck injury, not expected back until after their Week 9 bye.
Coach Todd Bowles acknowledged the difficulty of replacing a player like Evans.
Evans is currently tied with Jerry Rice for most consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons.
He achieved this tie last season with a remarkable performance in the final 7 games.
This season, rookie Emeka Egbuka and veteran Sterling Shepard will need to step up in Evans' absence.
Evans has consistently drawn the attention of opposing defenses, opening opportunities for other receivers.
The Buccaneers will hope for a swift recovery for their star receiver.
Titans head coach Brian Callahan has given up play-calling duties to quarterbacks coach Bo Hardegree after an 0-3 start to the season.
Nick Holes will remain the offensive coordinator and keep his current responsibilities in developing the game plan.
Callahan stated that his main job is to be the head coach and this change allows him to focus more on the entire team.
He believes this will allow him to better address areas that need his attention and be more present overall.
Callahan chose Hardegree over Holes due to Hardegree's experience as interim offensive coordinator for the Raiders in 2023.
Hardegree led the Raiders to a 5-4 record with rookie quarterback Aidan O'Connell.
Callahan has a 3-17 record as the Titans head coach and the team has been outscored 94-51 this season.
Hardegree cited former coaches David Cutcliffe and Adam Gase as major influences on his play-calling style.
The Titans are averaging just 17 points per game and have scored only 3 touchdowns so far.
Hardegree emphasized his focus on protecting the ball and scoring points.
Callahan was observed in a defensive game plan meeting, demonstrating his increased involvement in other team areas.
The Titans' offensive staff and game planning process will remain the same with this change.
Richard Sherman received a deferred prosecution in his driving under the influence case.
This means the charge is suspended if Sherman meets specific court requirements.
He must acknowledge his conduct resulted from a substance use disorder or mental problem and agree to 2 years of treatment.
If he meets these terms, the court will not pursue charges.
However, if he does not, a bench trial will determine his guilt.
The deferred prosecution includes a 5-year probation and counts as a prior offense in any future driving under the influence prosecution.
Sherman was arrested in February 2024 with a blood alcohol level above the legal limit.
He was charged with driving under the influence in June.
In a separate 2021 incident, Sherman pleaded guilty to negligent driving and criminal trespass.
This stemmed from him driving into a construction site and attempting to break into his in-laws' home.
The 37-year-old Sherman played 11 seasons in the National Football League, making 5 Pro Bowls.
He was a key member of the Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom Defense and won Super Bowl 48.
Washington Commanders receiver Terry McLaurin is seeking additional opinions on his injured quad.
This leaves his status for Sunday's game against Atlanta uncertain.
If McLaurin cannot play, it adds to a growing list of injuries for the Commanders.
Quarterback Jaden Daniels' availability is also uncertain for the Falcons game.
Daniels did not play in the win over the Las Vegas Raiders on Sunday.
Coach Dan Quinn said he would have more information on the injured players Wednesday.
McLaurin injured his quad late in the third quarter against the Raiders.
He lunged for the end zone on a 57-yard catch and run but was tackled.
The play was initially ruled a touchdown, but a replay overturned the call.
McLaurin did not return to the game but remained on the sideline.
McLaurin has not missed a game since Week 16 of the 2020 season.
He has 10 catches for 149 yards and no touchdowns this season.
Week 3 of the National Football League delivered some truly frustrating losses for several teams.
Beyond the typical disappointment of losing, these defeats were marked by dramatic collapses, unexpected endings, and a surprising number of blocked field goals.
Let us delve into the 4 most agonizing losses, starting with the Green Bay Packers.
The Packers, appearing dominant in the first 2 weeks, suffered a shocking upset against the Cleveland Browns.
Despite dominating on defense, the Packers' offense struggled, culminating in a blocked field goal that set up the Browns' game-winning kick.
The Packers' offensive line struggled mightily, allowing significant pressure on quarterback Jordan Love.
Love, effective without pressure, was sacked 5 times and pressured on nearly 39% of his dropbacks.
A crucial interception by Love, returned to the 4-yard line, further contributed to the Packers' downfall.
The Packers' run game also continued to disappoint, with Josh Jacobs averaging only 3.1 yards per carry on the season.
This inability to establish a consistent run game further hampered the Packers' offensive efforts.
The combination of offensive line struggles, a key turnover, and an ineffective run game led to the Packers' unexpected defeat.
This loss serves as a stark reminder that even seemingly dominant teams can be vulnerable to upsets in the National Football League.
It will be interesting to see how the Packers respond to this setback in the coming weeks.
Indeed, their next game will be a crucial test of their ability to bounce back from this frustrating loss.
The National Football League trade deadline is November 4th and several teams have already made moves.
The Philadelphia Eagles and New Orleans Saints acquired Tank Bigsby and Jalen Polk, respectively.
The New York Jets recently added cornerback Jarvis Brownlee Jr. to their roster.
Brownlee Jr. was acquired from the Tennessee Titans for a draft pick swap.
He is expected to compete for a starting role once he recovers from an ankle injury.
The Jets hope Brownlee Jr. will improve their secondary alongside S Gardner.
The Saints traded for Jalen Polk despite a shoulder injury landing him on injured reserve.
Polk was a second-round pick by the New England Patriots in the 2024 draft.
The Eagles traded for Tank Bigsby, marking their 5th trade since mid-August.
Other recent Eagles acquisitions include John Mechie III, Sam Howell, and Fred Johnson.
Speculation continues about potential trades involving players like Tyreek Hill and Kirk Cousins.
Fans can stay updated on trade news through resources like the ESPN app and Adam Schefter alerts.
Week 3 featured exciting moments, especially with impactful special teams plays like blocked field goals and game-winning field goals.
This week's power rankings focus on defensive performance, analyzing each team's biggest defensive issue.
The Eagles, ranked 2nd, struggle with run defense, allowing a 45.1% success rate.
The Bills, ranked 1st, have difficulty getting off the field on 3rd down.
The Lions, ranked 5th, need to improve their pass rush beyond Aiden Hutchinson.
The Chargers, ranked 7th, have had trouble stopping opponents on 4th down.
The Packers, ranked 3rd, lack takeaways, with only 2 interceptions this season.
The Buccaneers, ranked 10th, struggle with fourth-quarter stops, allowing many late-game scores.
The Ravens, ranked 4th, are having issues with tackling, giving up too many yards after contact.
The Rams, ranked 6th, have concerns about cornerback depth after losing Ahkello Witherspoon.
The Chiefs, ranked 8th, need more consistent pressure on the quarterback beyond Chris Jones.
The Commanders, ranked 9th, have allowed too many big plays on defense, particularly in the secondary.
The 49ers, ranked 11th, face significant challenges after losing Nick Bosa to a season-ending injury.
The Colts, ranked 16th, have an inconsistent pass rush that needs to generate more pressure.
Micah Parsons is not the first player Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has spoken with directly regarding a contract extension.
He will also not be the last, as it has been a common practice for Jones and Executive Vice President Stephen Jones to engage with star players about new deals.
While not explicitly prohibited, some agents believe it is inappropriate to bypass them and speak directly to the player, who may not grasp all the financial intricacies.
Agents work for the players but also protect their own interests by ensuring involvement in every aspect of the negotiation, given the numerous factors involved.
Parsons' return to AT&T Stadium with the Green Bay Packers highlights the end of a relationship that once seemed destined to last his entire career with the Cowboys.
Despite previous expressions of mutual respect, a misunderstanding regarding a contract extension led to Parsons' trade to the Packers.
Jerry Jones believed he and Parsons had reached an agreement, but Parsons' agent clarified that he handles the negotiations.
The Cowboys' direct negotiation approach has been questioned before, but Jerry Jones defends his preference for personal interaction with players.
He values building long-term relationships and believes direct communication fosters stronger bonds.
The Cowboys have negotiated with numerous players this way, finalizing the details with their agents afterward.
However, they also respect players who prefer communicating through their agents.
Quarterback Dak Prescott, who has had 2 extended contract negotiations with the Cowboys, believes these direct conversations are crucial.
Mac Jones, the San Francisco 49ers quarterback, recently led his team to a comeback victory against the Arizona Cardinals.
This performance followed his first start as a Niner against the New Orleans Saints, providing valuable insights into his abilities.
Jones is determined to rewrite the narrative surrounding his career, particularly his struggles in close games.
He acknowledged past failures in similar situations and expressed his motivation to change that perception.
Jones played through a knee injury during the Cardinals game, demonstrating his toughness and commitment.
He initially wore a brace, then removed it, and finally put it back on, but he persevered despite the pain.
Jones has shown comfort and effectiveness in 2-minute drill situations.
He efficiently moved the offense down the field in crucial moments against both the Cardinals and the Saints.
Jones has quickly become a well-liked member of the 49ers locker room.
Teammates and coaches praise his humor and positive energy, which have boosted the offense.
Jones is 2 years into an $8.40 million deal with the Niners.
His recent performances could attract interest from other teams seeking a starting quarterback.
With Brock Purdy nearing his return, Jones is likely to return to his backup role.
However, his value as a reliable backup and potential starter has undoubtedly increased.
The National Football League season is only through Week 3, but it is never too early to look at the playoff picture.
Football Power Index projections offer insights into which teams have the best chances to make the 14-team playoff field.
These projections also consider each team's odds of winning their division and reaching Super Bowl 60.
The Kansas City Chiefs improved their playoff odds after defeating the New York Giants, despite missing key players due to injury and suspension.
The Cincinnati Bengals' playoff hopes suffered a setback after a loss to the Minnesota Vikings, highlighting their offensive struggles.
The Green Bay Packers saw their playoff chances decrease after their first loss of the season to the Cleveland Browns.
The Detroit Lions are now favored to win the National Football Conference North after a convincing victory against the Baltimore Ravens.
In the National Football Conference West, all teams currently have winning records, but the Seattle Seahawks and Arizona Cardinals are still projected to miss the playoffs.
An important Week 4 matchup between the Seahawks and Cardinals will be crucial for their chances to challenge the Los Angeles Rams and San Francisco 49ers.
The wildcard round of the playoffs is scheduled for January 10 through 12, 2026.
The divisional round follows on January 17 and 18.
The conference championship games will be played on January 25, culminating in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California on February 8.
College football Week 4 provided exciting matchups and valuable insights for the upcoming 2026 National Football League Draft.
Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer suffered a throwing hand injury, raising questions about his draft stock.
He was rising in rankings after strong performances, potentially moving into early day 2 discussions.
The injury could push him outside the top 50 picks, but strong late-season games could improve his standing.
Mateer plays with an aggressive style, operating well in the pocket and throwing with anticipation.
He also contributes as a runner, adding rushing yards and touchdowns to his passing statistics.
Southern California wide receiver Micah Lemon impressed scouts with his polished route running and versatility.
He is projected as a potential early day 2 pick, showcasing reliability and return specialist capabilities.
Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza delivered an outstanding performance against a tough Illinois defense.
He displayed accuracy and command, solidifying his position in the quarterback 1 conversation.
Clemson defensive tackle Peter Woods has not yet met preseason expectations, failing to make a significant impact.
Southern California linebacker Eric Gentry is attracting attention with his length and range, despite needing to add weight.
David Montgomery rushed for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns, leading the Detroit Lions to a 38-30 victory over the Baltimore Ravens.
This win at M&T Bank Stadium marks a significant turnaround for the Lions, who had not previously won or even come within 9 points of victory in their 4 prior trips to Baltimore.
The Lions' offense performed impressively, with quarterback Jared Goff leading 2 touchdown drives of at least 96 yards.
Running backs Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery, along with wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown, each scored a touchdown.
This marks the 10th game in which this trio has each recorded at least 1 scrimmage touchdown, an NFL record according to ESPN research.
Defensive end Al-Quadin Muhammad had a surprising performance, contributing 2.5 sacks for the Lions.
This boosted the Detroit pass rush, which had struggled in the first 2 weeks of the season.
The Lions' defense, however, allowed an opening drive touchdown for the 3rd consecutive game this season, a first under coach Dan Campbell.
Despite this, they rallied to sack Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson a career-high 7 times.
For the Ravens, Derrick Henry is fumbling at costly times this season.
Henry fumbled midway through the 4th quarter, contributing significantly to the Ravens' loss.
This is unusual for Henry, who had only lost 2 rushing fumbles in the 4th quarter or overtime in the previous 9 seasons.
The Denver Broncos are off to a disappointing 1-2 start after letting close games slip away in the final minutes.
This continues a trend of slow starts for the Broncos, who began 2024 at 0-2 and 2023 at 1-5.
3 key issues have contributed to their struggles: penalties, lack of explosive plays, and an inability to close out games.
The Broncos have seen a steady increase in penalties, going from 6 in the opener to 10 against the Chargers.
These penalties have often come at crucial moments, hindering drives and extending opponents' opportunities.
The Broncos' offense has also struggled to generate big plays, with only 4 plays exceeding 30 yards this season.
Quarterback Bo Nix has expressed frustration with the lack of explosive plays, particularly in crucial situations.
Opponents have been successful in limiting Nix' downfield passing attempts, forcing him to rely on shorter throws.
Finally, the Broncos' defense has faltered in the 4th quarter of recent games, allowing opponents to score late and secure victories.
In Week 2, the Colts had 2 late field goal drives, while the Chargers scored 10 points in the final 5 minutes of Week 3.
The Broncos have struggled to get crucial stops on defense in these late-game situations.
These defensive lapses have allowed opposing offenses to capitalize with chunk plays and game-winning drives.
If the Broncos hope to turn their season around, they must address these 3 key areas.
Improved discipline, more explosive plays, and stronger 4th quarter defense will be essential for their success.
The Washington Commanders have demonstrated their offensive prowess even without starting quarterback Jayden Daniels.
The team is undefeated in the 3 games Daniels has missed since the start of last season, showcasing their depth and adaptability.
Backup quarterback Marcus Mariota has been instrumental in these victories, leading the team to impressive offensive performances.
In Sunday's win against the Las Vegas Raiders, the Commanders gained 400 yards and scored 34 points on offense without Daniels.
Mariota has earned the confidence of his teammates and coaches, who praise his decision-making and ability to thrive in the team's offensive system.
He has completed 77% of his passes with 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions when replacing Daniels.
The Commanders' running backs have also contributed significantly, combining for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns in Sunday's game.
Despite missing key players due to injuries, the team has found ways to compensate and maintain offensive production.
The defense has also played a crucial role in these victories, holding opponents to low scores while Daniels has been sidelined.
Special teams have provided additional support, with key returns setting up scoring opportunities.
This all-around team effort demonstrates the Commanders' ability to win regardless of who is at quarterback.
Their performance highlights the depth of their roster and the effectiveness of their coaching staff.
Chicago hot dog stand the Wieners Circle offered free hot dogs if Bears quarterback Caleb Williams threw 4 touchdown passes.
Co-owner Ari Levy was inspired by a social media post and tied the promotion to Williams achieving this somewhat improbable feat.
Williams had accomplished this only once before, in his rookie season against Jacksonville.
The Wieners Circle promotion gained significant traction online, with thousands of reshares and likes.
Williams threw 4 touchdown passes against the Dallas Cowboys, securing the Bears their first win of the season and triggering the free hot dog giveaway.
Williams even acknowledged the promotion after the game, congratulating fans on their free hot dogs.
The Wieners Circle prepared for the giveaway by ordering extra hot dogs and receiving donated buns.
Hundreds of people lined up for free hot dogs, creating a festive atmosphere.
Local news covered the event, and fans celebrated the Bears' victory and free food.
A self-proclaimed number 1 Bears fan, Jose Figueroa, entertained the crowd while they waited.
Fans expressed optimism about the Bears' season following their win against the Cowboys.
Even a lifelong Bears fan who was fishing nearby joined the line for a free hot dog.
That's a wrap on this week's NFL Blitz Talk. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time with more gridiron fire and fearless breakdowns.